Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? Happy Friday. I hope you've had a good week. It's Friday for me anyway. And this will be episode 920, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And today even we're talking about dissonance and resonance when it comes to making the changes within our mind and our body, the inside and the outside. And I hope you are well. We hit over, I don't know if we said on the last stream, over 100,000 watch hours on YouTube for the last 30 days. So the last 28 days, we've had over 100,000 watch time hours. And we gained 1,000 subscribers in just 1 month. And we're almost at 100,000 views per month. So we've grown it by like 30%. 30%. Because we were getting like 600-700 subscribers, about 70,000 views, 70,000 watch hours, but now we've gone into the 100,000, the 1,000 subs, the 100,000 of the views. So we're growing. So welcome if you're new. Wrong camera. Welcome if you're new. And that's just the YouTube alone. We're almost at I think we've done 2.8 million total views. So we're getting going. We brought back to life the YouTube channel. It took 2 years. I actually took time off the podcast and the YouTube for about a year or two. Or very erratically over 2 years. But now I've been doing 3 episodes every week for 2 to 3 years to bring it back to life. Which is pretty crazy. That's a lot. It's a lot of time. So thank you for bearing with me growing the YouTube channel back. Who have we got? We got Michelle here. Welcome, and thank you ever so much. Hey Cheryl, great to have you here, that you're ready to learn and ready to grow. Hey Leah, happy Saturday to you, and Cheryl of course, being in Australia. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. My back is still a little bit sensitive, so I haven't been able to go for like any long runs, but I did a 4.5 mile hike yesterday, which included some running, but there was a 400 feet elevation of going up and down, 400-500 feet. So that was good to get some exercise and a workout just before this stream as well. So I'm doing pretty good. I treated myself to something. Who wants to know what I got? Hey Caroline, where have you been? I'm doing very well, thank you. Oh, there you go, look. You just said it. Well, it's great to have you back. And hey Teresa, great to have you here as well. Welcome. Great to have you on the live stream. What did I get? It arrived around 7 o'clock this morning. And I've kind of said I'd never buy myself anything other than tech, which technically this is tech. But I only ever buy things for me, either experiences like going back home to see my family, so like hotels, airports, going out and about. That's a treat for myself. Other than that, it's just like mics, it's cameras, systems, button things. I'm just ordered a teleprompter. So it's always like geared to be able to help to do more work. But today I received this. I thought it'd be fun. It's one of those Oculus Rift, Meta Oculus thing. The third one. Because my friend Grim, the Grim, he's got one and he said it's cool. So I'm going to play around with this, bit of virtual reality. And it's pretty mental. I had a little go of it, like 10-15 minutes today, and it kind of just builds out your whole room, and it's mental. But I'm also doing it for research purposes. Because the mind is holographic in our perceptions. And I wonder what we can do in the exploration of letting go of issues in different ways. So I'm exploring, researching, developing, may be investing. So it is kind of business, I guess. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the Grim, who suggested. There it is, Grim. We can be VR buddies now. Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Literally, right? Yeah. It's kind of weird because it's... Well, I've never really experienced it like that before. But you like put it on and it builds out your whole room. And you got like this virtual, I don't know, it's like a tablet type of thing, and you're pressing buttons and doing things. I don't quite know what I'm gonna be doing yet, but it's gonna be fun to try out. Yeah, there he is. I want this one. Which is kind of cool because I was talking to my trainer about this just before the stream, because I told him, like, I treated myself to something I never do. And I was saying some ideas of how you can utilize VR to let go of issues. So I'm generally curious about the development of it as well. So it's kind of business. Kinda. Is it a tax write-off? I don't know. Sure, the CPA will let me know if I'm doing research. Percentage of it? 10%, 20%, 100%? Who knows? If you know what I mean. So I'll figure a little bit about that and let you know. I'm kind of working all weekend as well, though. Well, most of the week, half the weekend. But I'll get some downtime this evening. I probably won't. No, I won't. I'm going to edit this after this episode, this stream. But this is going to be episode 920. Great to have you here. If you are new here, my name is Joseph Clough. I do hypnosis, self-development, weird stuff for the mind. And I've got an app. You haven't got the app? Go ahead and get the app already. It's there. Right there. From right there. Hundreds. Over 900 free. Over 300 free hypnosis sessions. But you got all the other things in there. And I'm actually putting up some new, maybe this weekend, it's on my list to do anyway, some new 4-hour sessions and some day and night ones as well. I've got to remember how to do that because I did it before Christmas. But you got all of that within the app. And I go live Monday, Fridays, upload a brand new hypnosis session on Wednesdays, but also throughout the week I do other videos on hypnosis. I'm actually planned out up until maybe April. Awesome, you got the app. I love it. Thank you so much for supporting yourself and also helping others. And so a lot of things I do is trying to like reinvest into helping more. I mean, that wasn't technically, but I've got some visions for it. I do like to get tech. Like I've shown you in the past, but I got like backup mics on the ready. I can't speak into this. Here we go. There's the other mic. Hello, hello. Hello. And now we're back on that mic. Should anything happen on a... I always do this. This mic is so heavy. What am I going to do? Hopefully balance it. But, yeah, mainly stuff I buy is just to improve the show. Or buy water bottles. And then we do the live recording of the episode. And then we have a bit of a brief after chat if we want to hang out at the end. So be sure to put a thumbs up on YouTube if you're on YouTube. Maybe a like on Facebook. I don't even know I'm on am I on Facebook? I don't know. YouTube is the main place. But there we go. And we usually start around 20 past the hour. We might start early. It means I can finish work early. And try out the VR. And what else have I got to say? We've said that we're getting over 1,000 subs on YouTube now. Over 100,000 views and 100,000 watch hours every month. So that's a good celebration. Who's got some celebrations? Who wants a celebration? If you've got a celebration, put it in the chat. I've got to run my group coaching call tomorrow. So that's going to be fun. I think that's it. I said I went for a hike. Oh, we haven't played around with the screens yet, trying to break things on the stream. Nice little fireworks. Maybe a little bit of mist. And I like the fireworks. Hey Med, great to have you here. Happy Friday to you, all the way in London. Richmond, specifically. There's a couple where I live who found each other after 40 years. They think there's a love. They are in their late 70s. Wow. Well, that's a nice little celebration. Congratulations to them. I don't know, how is everyone doing? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. Should we get to it? It's 1:15. I usually speak for about an hour on these streams, but we'll see how we go today. And I want us to go into some weird stuff. It's okay to go a little bit weird. About dissonance and resonance. Oh, thank you so much. It's so, so kind. So pleased you're getting value from it. That's very, very awesome. It makes me want to do more and 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 more. In fact, if you're on YouTube, don't leave now, of course. But I bought another stream. Some people know, but I've got 3 other congruent? No, not congruent. You know, what's those things? Together. Let me know in the chat. It's like side by side, in other words. Not coherent. I'm not even speaking coherently. What's the word I'm thinking of? Hey Mina, welcome back to the live stream. Yes, that is so true. Good little cue. Good job, my man. What was I thinking of? Yeah, we'll ignore that one. That med. Speaking truth, but we'll ignore him. What is that word? That's gonna annoy me now. You know, not congruently, not cohesively, not consecutively. There we go. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream, Carrie. Consecutively, I'm running on YouTube 3 other streams, excluding this one. And that's one for quick smoking, one for confidence, and a new one which is about miracles. Tapping into the magic. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I wanted. I was going all over the place, congruently, coherently, sequentially. It wouldn't be right, but that was in my mind. But yeah, consecutively. Thank you so much. So if you're interested, you can listen to me 24/7 on those. Awesome. And that leads in one of the 4-hour one is on the app now. That's on the app. In the free section, but I'm going to put it in the main section of the 4-hour and also a day and a morning one. You're the Chief Consecutive Officer of the YouTube. Hey, welcome all the way from New Zealand. We've got people from Australia and New Zealand. Is it Tali? I'm not very good at pronunciations of names. Is it A, Tali, or is it Tally? There you are. You were the perfect example. I think then Tali it would be, because there's always going to be a little bit of a delay between chat by like 20 seconds. So I think Tali. Welcome, Tali. Great, that's a great name, by the way. Great to have you here. Welcome to the stream. So yes, 20 past almost, so we should probably get going with the live recording of this episode. I won't be paying attention to the chat. I'll be just focusing on the message, but then afterwards we'll have a bit of a chat if we want to at the end of the stream as well. A Hebrew name. So I've been to Israel like, I don't know how many times, 4, 5, 6 times. And gone to all the places, like Bethlehem and the Four Quarters, and in other words, Jerusalem, Haifa, I can't remember the other one, Jaffa, other places. So pleased you enjoyed it. And I was out in Israel teaching. So I was teaching therapists on trauma relief. So that's why I've been there like 4, 5, 6 times. It must be about 5 times at least. Itchy nose, someone's talking about me. I'm getting text messages. Let's get to it. Yeah, is it the Wailing Wall? That was interesting. The garden. I'm not very down on my stuff of locations, but the Garden of... Well, I cannot remember. But I've done all the tours. The Red Sea or Dead Sea, whichever one it is. Done that one when you kind of float. Hey Mary, great to have you here. Happy Friday to you. Ah, thank you. The emoji doesn't ever show up on my system, the software I use. But that's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So with that, let's get to it. The Med Sea. Yeah. I'm really dehydrated today. But that should do it. Okay. Episode 920. Dissonance, resonance, vibrational things. No, I do not. I do have 2, though. I should have done, but I've got 2. Different sizes. My 3rd one is in the other room. And didn't you say in the last stream that you weren't aware of or paying attention to certain things, but you did in both? Well, that one and this one? Very aware. Okay, let's get to it though. I respect you for being here. I want to respect your time at the same time. So let's get to the episode. So we'll go to this one and then we press this one. Episode 920. Ready, steady, let's go. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough and this is episode 920. Now in today's episode, we're talking about, in a way, some weird and wonderful things of manifestation, vibration, frequency, resonance, and dissonance. We're going all in to those kind of subjects in the context of living the life you want and getting the things that you desire. So if you're interested in understanding the deeper levels of the great and wonderful unconscious mind of your very own unconscious mind, this episode could be just for you. So let's kind of dive into it. You see, when I thought about this episode, I was thinking about the many books that I've read over the years of understanding, whether it's real or not, but like the nature of reality, and understanding things like the intentions that we have. Everything starts with an intention. And based on the quality of that intention, it will dictate a certain outcome. So in other words, you may have a good intention of protection, but maybe that intention kind of grows into anxiety to try to protect you, being worried about all the things that could happen. Maybe that intention could be slightly different, that creates a deep self-certainty, an unwavering faith in knowing exactly what you want. So you've got examples out there, like the book Messages in Water. I don't quite know, I haven't really studied into it, but whether it's I mean, it's meant to be real, but depending on how you would think toward the element of water, and it'll be frozen. So if you had lots of negative thoughts to this bit of water which was frozen, it would kind of fragment in a distorted way. And if you said wonderful messages or wonderful intentions and feelings, it would look like these wonderful snowflakes. And that's just one example. Another book what reminds me of is a book that I loved, what I read when I was like 18 years ago. Sorry, when I was about 18 years old, 22 years ago, called The Holographic Universe. And it mentioned aspects there of the work of Dr. Rupert Sheldrake when it comes to plants being able to pick up energy depending on that frequency that was being sent. So I know it's weird and wonderful, but I do believe in the weird and wonderful. We are an energetic being. Everything is a frequency. Like, we absorb frequencies through sound, through vocals, even through things like sight. It is all a level of frequency. We are vibrating energy. Where you break us down into the waves or the particles, there's this immense, I always like to imagine it like we're a sea of energy condensed into certain levels. And depending on the quality of our thoughts, depending on the quality of our feelings, will dictate the type of life that we're having. And that's why I always love the sentence, whatever you desire, desires you too. Whatever you want, wants you to. But unfortunately, despite consciously desiring something, unconsciously we may be sabotaging that based on emotions like fear, scarcity, worry, and doubt. And that puts us in the dissonance. We're not in that deep congruency and alignment to that desire. We could say, in other words, on the one hand, I want the financial abundance, or on the one hand, I want the relationship or the career or the health. But if there's a part of you, on the other hand, unconsciously, that has a level of dissonance toward that outcome, based on the intention of usually protection, so it causes us to shrink and play small, for the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of being found out, that dissonance will actually create the self-sabotage of our experience of getting what we want. So when you think about a goal that you may have, like maybe we want to bring it to mind. Maybe you have a desire to have a monthly income, a relationship, a career, health. If you just hold that in your mind, if you like invite that outcome in your mind, if you were to say, out of like 10, how kind of toward are you to that? Are you like a 10 out of 10? I am deeply aligned, 100% congruent, like nothing's gonna stop me. I am just in tune. I'm in that flow state. I just know, like I know that that's coming into my reality and I'm taking massive action. Or maybe on the other hand, we're a 0. We just think, yeah, I want that, but I doubt myself. I have this fear or scarcity. Maybe you're a 5, maybe you're a 4, maybe you're a 7, like 7 toward and 3 back. But notice, if you will, even if you close your eyes when you're doing that, and notice if there is a level of incongruency toward that goal and outcome. Now, the chances are you will have. Like, so don't be annoyed by that. Don't be frustrated by it. Accept that that is the present reality. And the thing is, most people go throughout life wanting, but beneath the surface, there's this energy of dissonance, that this operating of that fear and scarcity in the vibrations of our emotions, even our self-talk, all of those things. And you've got to become consciously clear of that. Otherwise, it becomes unconscious on autopilot. And then you start to get in a level of disillusion. You go, oh, life's never going to go my way. Oh, that's why I'm a failure. Oh, that's why I'm enough. That's why I'm broken. That's why fill in the blank. Because we start to get that experiential no results or little to no results, which gives us examples and reasons and validations that is who I am. But that's not who you are. It's just how you're operating, right? That's just your present system. It's so much easier to think about it like that because you are taking it so personally, where really it's a process. And if you can interrupt the process, or at the very least understand what is happening beneath the surface, by noticing how much am I really going for that and how much fear or whatever that emotion is, or belief system, or self-doubt that is creating that dissonance, that's going to be a game changer. Like I said, most people just go through life on autopilot, unconsciously. But we've got to become conscious of those things. If you want to say like manifest things into your life, or if we just even go down the biological route of getting your brain unconsciously on autopilot for the thing that you want, it creates a congruency, a wholeness. It's not like part of you over here and part of me is pulling back. You're 100% congruent in resonance with that goal and outcome. So it's always good to be conscious of what is happening beneath the surface, because then you can start to do something about it and start to understand, why is there a part of me that is holding back? And we can take it back to the intention. Because say, for example, you really want that thing, but you've noticed there's a fear and there's a self-doubt. Well, ask yourself, what's the intention of that fear? What's the intention of that self-doubt? What's it trying to do, but it's not fulfilling? And the answer most of the time, if not all the time, is a level of protection. That's the intention. It's trying to keep you safe, try to hold you back. Like I said, in case we might get found out, in case we might fail, in case we may even succeed, and what that will mean. Maybe it means my relationship changes. Maybe my family will see me differently. See, there's lots of little interesting aspects of the intention. But your job, using things like my hypnosis or other processes, to start to reprogram them. Because if you can vibrate the frequency of your desire, now what do I mean by that? I want you to go in your mind as if you were free of all limitation. Like, even if you can't imagine there was someone else who was free of all limitation, and they considered what they wanted, and they noticed what that feeling would be. What feeling would that be? What that outcome? What is it like, for example, to receive $10,000 a month, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, whatever the outcome for you is? What would that mean to you? How would it make you feel if you were free of limitations? Would it be abundance? Would it be love? Would it be to serve? Maybe change it to relationships or to health, whatever your outcome is. Notice, if you are free of limitation, what will that get you? What would it give you? What would it mean to you having successfully completed? And you're going to come up with 1, 2, 3 kind of words. Like I said, it could be very, I didn't say this, but it could be very ambiguous, like love. Like, you can't put that in a box as such. It's like this ever expanding thing, but it could be more detailed things. It could be physical things, external things, but what it allow you to feel. And what I mean by whatever you desires you to, you have to start to think about that feeling of what it will give you and do whatever it takes to start to feel that feeling in the now. Because that means you are congruent with that desire. The very nature of you wanting desire means that you have a lack. And I can't remember who said it. I think it comes from like the yoga kind of side, but all desire is suffering. Like, all desire, it probably said it a lot better, but ultimately, all desire is a level of suffering. Why? Because the nature of the desire means I don't have. I don't have it. Therefore, I have lack, I have scarcity, and therefore I'm suffering in some way. So how do we shift from that? Like I said, we go into the successful completion of having achieved it, and what will it make you feel? Let's just say it was gratitude. Then you've got to do all the things in the present that makes you feel gratitude, feeling grateful. Maybe you go for a walk and you look out to nature and you go, I'm so grateful for my life. If you start your day in that gratitude, just think of that now being the frequency. Will you be in more harmony to your outcome? Yes, because you're tuning in to the same frequency of your outcome. So notice your desires and why we want them. Notice the delicacy of that frequency. Is it resonating? Now, the truth is, it is very hard at times to be 100% congruent with an outcome, because we're human after all, right? But if you can tip the scales so you're like 80% there, 90% there, 95%, you're going to be a lot better than being held back by the 80% of a scarcity. Can we get to the 100? Yes. And one of the levels of being to the 100 is being at peace with some of the dissonance. So now we're going on a different kind of path. Because in the beginning, we're saying, look, we want to be in resonance. We want to be able to be in tune, tapped in and deeply aligned with our desire. 100%, 10 out of 10. We want to be able to operate and radiate the feeling of the thing it will give me, the love, the gratitude, the service, the potentiality, the security, the freedom. So on the one hand, we want that. But how can we start to go a little bit deeper into the dissonance? Because I believe, and this could be a generalization, but sometimes along the way to getting your outcome, there may be things that you have to do that may not feel good. You see, if you want to earn, say, $50,000 every single month, what will that entail? Well, maybe it'll be getting promotions, maybe it's building a business. Let's say if it was a business side of things, are you going to enjoy every aspect of your business? Like creating it? Maybe you're not good at certain things and you think about, the advertising, or let's say if you wanted to go and do videos on YouTube, I've got to be in front of people. There's going to be levels of dissonance on your journey to your greatness of the outcome. I love doing what I do. I love that this being broadcasted live on YouTube. I love creating hypnosis. I do it because I genuinely want to help as many people, and that's why I love reinvesting into doing what I do. I know to be able to help more people. That's just what I want to do in my life. I don't see myself really stopping. In the future I may slow down. Who knows, as I age and what have you. But ultimately, this mission, vision, and ambition of mine is very big that I wanted to do it. But do I love everything about what I do? No. I've got to learn, or have had to and still got to learn about business. I could be I'm not saying I am, but let's just say I could be the greatest hypnotist in the world. But if I don't get out there, how am I going to help people? If I'm not putting my work out there. It has taken me, of course, over 900 episodes, but if you think about all the hours into editing or fine-tuning, learning about hypnosis, training, seminars, working with clients, like I said, editing, marketing, communicating, all these things, that's a lot of stuff. And do I love every aspect? No. There are times where I'm in real dissonance toward that, right? It's part of the journey though. You got to get to a place where when you get there, then you can maybe outsource. But if you've got a goal or dream, it's not about you being in total balance. Key word. It's not about you being total balance in all areas. Like the balances is I love marketing, I love advertising, I love speaking in front of a camera, I love editing. And there's just an example of me, for example, because that's not going to be the case. The reality is I've got to get my head out the mind that is going to get the head out the mind. That's an interesting one. To get my head out of the idea that I've got to enjoy every moment of it. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. You've got to instead change balance to harmony. Harmony means that you can go back and forth. There are times when you're going to be really flourishing and loving every moment, but at times you're going to have to face some of the challenges. It doesn't have to be detrimental, it doesn't have to be crazy bad. They're challenges where you've got to put yourself out there and do things beyond your comfort zone. You've got to face your fears. You've got to do the work in letting go of those limiting beliefs. It doesn't have to be crazy bad once again, but you've got to face them. You've got to get a help from someone or something to be able to do it. If you just bury it away, you are not in resonance whatsoever. But there is a level of being at harmony with some of the dissonance. And what I mean by that, and here's why it's so important, when you become at peace, remember, not in balance, so everything's got to be balanced before I do anything. If I become at harmony and at peace, that along the road to this outcome, to manifest what I want, to do whatever I desire, to live a life of love and purpose, I've got to accept some level of dissonance. And when I do, it cannot harm me. When I do, it cannot control me. When I do that, I'm in charge of it. I'm not running away. I'm just becoming at peace that along the way, something's going to happen or things are going to show up, and that's okay. Because when I come from that angle, I now feel good. I feel actually more resonance by being at harmony with the dissonance. Does that make sense? The more you start to become at peace, that along the way, there is going to be dissonance within you and around you, you're actually turning it into a resonance. So it's a little bit weird, ultimately. But when you start to operate from that level, you are becoming more congruent. You are sometimes going to be a 10 out of 10, then sometimes you're going to be a 7 or an 8. And you become conscious of that, and then you keep on increasing along the way. Like I said, it's hard to be 10 out of 10 congruent for everything, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. It is hard. But when you start to become at peace with the dissonance, you harness it and you start to build from it. You grow from that so-called struggle. So if you want to be able to manifest your desires, you want to go and to consider, what is the energy level of the thing that I want? How can I operate from that? Let's say if it was, say, love, if we backtrack. Well, if I'm going to play the music that I love or do more things that I love, I'm now stepping into the frequency and vibration of the thing that I desire. And that means I'm going to get that thing I want, or sometimes something better. So in a way, if you start to operate from that place of what it will give you, you may open up your mind, your unconscious mind, to get more things that you never knew was possible, because consciously you may have been deleting them because you're so focused on the outcome. So yeah, have the outcome in mind, but don't be fixated on it. Refocus on what it will give you. And that means you are in resonance with the deeper meaning behind that desire. And that, to me, means you'll get more out of life. And like I said, intention is everywhere. Vibration is everything. Frequency is everything. And I've said this analogy before, but what are you tuning into? Like a radio. Are you tuning in to the music station that you hate by focusing on the anxiety, the fears, and the worries and the doubts? Or are you tuning in to what you desire and starting to sing that song, starting to play that music, starting to feel whatever that will give you. And if you can get that feeling from the day-to-day stuff, it makes the dissonance be okay. You see, I've talked about my example here a couple of times. I'm at peace. There's a lot of stuff I dislike, right? Like I said, it's a hard work. I work most of the time. And some people say I should slow down. Some people, it can be unhealthy for like relationships and things like that. And I'm at peace with that. Maybe it'll change over time, who knows? But I know that my mission, vision, ambition is so strong that I'm willing to go through the dissonance, embrace it. Like I said, be at harmony, and it will give me the freedom that I desire. So that's another level. And that other level is find something bigger than yourself. And that can be, doesn't mean you gotta do podcasts and hypnosis and all those kind of things. It could be what's bigger in getting that relationship. What's bigger in getting that career? What's bigger than getting that monetary value? It could be, well, I'm going to serve my family for generations to come, or the charities or community. It could be in relationship. It could be experiences. It could be deep connection, intimacy. It could be all of those things and more. But if you start to find something bigger than what you thought, it allows that distance to be like, it's okay. This is so big and this is so great and this is so wonderful. I'm in tune. I'm deeply aligned in the distance. Because otherwise, if you live in just that fast, fearful distance, you will forever self-sabotage. You will forever feel like a failure. You'll forever feel hurt or broken or unfixable. But it doesn't have to be that way. The more you understand the nature of the mind, the more you get help with the mind, you can start to radiate the desires that you want. And therefore you become in sync with your desires, and it starts to go to you. In my opinion, that's how I like to see it. And like I said, I've learned from many books over the years, from the esoteric, from the spiritual to even biological. The more you understand the nature of your brain, you will start to experience weird, wonderful things showing up in known and unknown ways, in expected and unexpected ways. It's magical. That's where you create miracles. That's where you create the impossible. That's where you create, or the so-called impossible. That's where you start to step outside of yourself, getting out your own way to truly have the life that you desire, and I believe you absolutely deserve. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Of course, if you ever want to personally work with me to be able to make those things happen, create your life that you want, you can go ahead to josephclough.info/talk. When you go there, you fill out an application form, because we want to understand exactly where you want to be, where you want to go, what you want to achieve. And then if it's a good fit, you'll go ahead and attend a one-to-one call with us. We'll get clear on exactly what you want to let go of, exactly what you want to achieve, understand the nature of what's getting in the way, and if we can solve it, all within 8 weeks, we may invite you into the program. But you've got to be invested in time, even in money, because it's not a free program. It is fully customized to your needs and your unconscious mind. So go to josephclough.info/talk. And with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Thank you for being here with me. And just know that I want you to be able to know your worth, know that you're able to live the life that you want. As I said, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, and if you are enjoying my work, please go ahead and leave a review on the app stores if you've got the mobile app. That makes a difference in helping so many more people. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye. Hello, hello, hello. We're back. We're back. We did it. 920 episodes. So that is going to get in the way of that. That is going to get in the way of that. You see, if we feel unworthy, we're going to attract, like, how am I meant to be abundant financially if I don't feel worthy? Like, it's a total dissonance. It's a total mismatch. If I feel worthy, am I worthy of money, love, relationships, career? Of course. So there's going to be deeper levels to that. But just picking up on that sentence specifically, oh my goodness, what happened there? I've never done that in my life. Pressed a button and now there's two of me. I've always wanted a clone. How on earth did that happen? I pressed the button on my mouse. Whew. I multiplied for a moment. Thank you, Matt. I saw this as we're going through the live stream. Appreciate that. And the super wonderful Lynn is here as well. Great to have you here. Mr. C is by my feet. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Leah. Love it, Matt. Thank you so much. Very, very kind. Awesome. Yeah, I really like the idea of the dissonance as being okay. To get through it. Because you can't run from it. Oh, we missed out. I think you pressed send beforehand by accident. In Haifa, you have the... I want to know now. Thank you, Med. Very kind. Getting in touch with your desires again. I still feel like getting comfortable with being able to focus on I'm still trying to... Okay. I would... leave your environment, go elsewhere, go to a restaurant, go into nature with a piece of paper, a notebook, and dream as if you're a child. Like, if anything could happen, what would it be? And what's important about that? What would it mean to you? What would it allow you to feel and have? A bit like what I talked about. But I think you've got to get out your own way. So like, sometimes we go through that, like at the end of the like closing out of the year, we kind of go through that period of the new year. All of those levels, well, sometimes you've got to create it within yourself by removing yourself from the environment and then focusing on that. Ask yourself, well, is there something that is stopping me with my desires? Do I, like going back to the unworthiness? Maybe I'm not unworthy of getting in touch with my desires. Maybe I don't feel I'm capable. What if I get rejected? Like trying to understand that. If you remove then that, you'll be able to really immerse into your desires at the same time. Great question. Mary says, good stuff. I believe every word and know we are all vibrating. I still can't figure out how to feel the outcome and diss myself. And I just can't figure out how to feel the outcome and distance myself and everything you just said. Like I said, it could be that limiting identity. Or probably, because our identity creates everything. It stops us do those things. Like, I go through this as well. Like when things have shown up, like when my app or my server got hacked and then I spent a ton of money into the app, there was dissonance there. But I had to keep myself in the game to go through that and become conscious of what that was a message about, what was a meaning, a deeper meaning for me. So it's not like I don't have those, but it's about understanding them and then understand, well, what's the block there? And I think getting into the limiting beliefs is going to do that. And once again, focus on what you want. What will it give you? Name the first 3 things it will give you, emotional wise, and then look for things which will do that whilst operating, doing the work on letting go of that core issue. Because I know people who have, I'm just trying to think of specific examples, but there's many, who have like doubled and tripled their income by letting go of their limiting belief. I know people who have charged, like as a practitioner, who have charged so much more because they were just doing it for free or for cheap because they had a low self-worth. And they got people who weren't taking it seriously, became very disillusioned as a practitioner of change because of that. But it all originated from their own identity and association to it. But once we let go of that, they just like 10x'd. And people showed up. People wanted it. People were wanting and willing to pay in that situation, all by making that identity shift. Like my main program is really ultimately an identity shift. That's all it is. I mean, it's huge, but in order to shift your outcome, you have to shift your identity. Whether how you identify with the goal, but mainly your own identity within yourself. Like your own identity. Once we make that shift in identity, you see a whole different world. And I was going a little bit longer there. Yeah, we got a clone. I'm scared to press that button again in case I destroy the stream. You know I do that sometimes. Thank you, Cheryl. Yes, exactly. That's a great metaphor. But then probably the twin will probably make me do all that stuff. Like, who's going to have the power? Maybe my twin will make me think that I'm the clone. And now I've got to do even more work. Yeah, so that's where you've got to get that within yourself first, and then you attract the right people. Like I've seen it time and time again, like bad relationships happen because if, say for example, someone doesn't believe they're worthy, then how they work, like the same example was money. How am I worthy of getting money if I don't feel worthy? How am I worthy of a good relationship if I don't feel worthy? Right? It's just a total mismatch. I'm going to attract people who think, or at least prey upon, whether it be narcissists, or what have you, because we are operating from that frequency. So getting to that identity, making that shift changes everything. Thank you, Mean. I'm just catching up with all the comments as well. In my opinion, this gotta just be like, I'll be honest, it's tricky, and it's best to work with someone to get you through that. Like, if I want to get fit, I'm not going to, like, if I'm going to do it right, I'm going to hire a personal trainer. If I want to learn how to play the piano, I'm going to not try to do it myself, because I'm going to try to hire someone. Even if we don't have much money, like, it still can be an investment. I'm not saying me here, by the way. Like, I'm not saying people should work with me. It's weirdly, I try to repel people sometimes, because I want to work with the right person. And I can only work with so many people. But to be honest, yes, you can do all those things. Look for that evidence. It's going to be definitely good. Like I always say, like, come up with 100 reasons to change. But identity is unconscious. So therefore you've got to do the deeper work of what is that identity. And some people might say, well, it's unworthy. Well, that's our conscious articulation of it, but sometimes there's a few levels beneath. Another example is most people work on symptoms. Symptoms don't get outcomes. Symptoms just come back. You want to work on the true identity of that. In an ideal world, if you cannot invest, if you don't have the time, credit, or whatever it is, then I understand. And I'm not talking to you specifically, I'm talking about everyone here. Then I would save up as much as possible, or I'd do whatever it takes and do the work as well, or find the hypnosis track, which is going to keep on making those shifts. But it's a bit like I said on Monday, I think. It's like you don't want to be doing surgery on yourself because you don't know how to do surgery unless you're a surgeon. You don't want to really be working on your car for like real deep stuff within the car if you're not a trained mechanic, ideally. Nice. I didn't today. I don't know if you heard on the beginning, but I had a glorious 4.5 mile hike up in the trails. Exactly. Thank you, my friend Mary. Very, very kind. Yeah. There's only so much I can do in terms of all the audio. Don't hit the mic. It's getting a bit dark. I'm going to end the stream in a moment because we're an hour in, but I had to face my own identity conflicts. And look, the greatest thing for me, and who was I talking to this about? I was talking to my brother about it. And I've talked about like the hero's journey. Is I'm very grateful for my unworthiness of not good enough. Because it woke me up to let it go. Like I went on a journey to let it go. And then along the way, I wouldn't say I did this reluctantly, because I didn't, but it caused me along the way to want to help people because I know what it was like to be there. So that created like a trail of hypnosis sessions, podcasts and things, but it was all because I went into that, say, metaphorical darkness of not feeling worthy, solving it, and then along the way it allowed me to do this. So that's why I like to help people. Yeah. I know. To get really good audio, you should really speak as close as you can. But I'm all arms and legs sometimes. All arms and legs. Or less of the legs, more of the arms when I'm talking. So if this was out my way, I'd still probably hit it. But there we go. We did it. I'm curious about that. Should we try to break the stream? Shall we? I shouldn't, but I want to. I want to. I tap a monitor, see if it does something. Tap the mic. Play around with gestures, which crashed the stream last time. Yeah. I'm all arms. Break the stream. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. Very kind of you. And thank you, Teresa, as well. What's the deck thing I'm using? Stream Deck. This is the largest one they sell. It's got all my buttons. It's a bit dusty now, but I got my celebrate button and light bulb. So I press the light bulb. That's my main. Second, I can zoom. There's a podcast.
When I first met Joseph, I had heard a lot about hypnosis.
This is an outro I never use.
Tried it once or twice. I bought some from
But that guy there is Russell Brunson, owner of ClickFunnels. You have a good one, Leah. Great to have you here. Yes, but that was on purpose. I created the effects. And they're like little prompts. Click that and it does these things. So I created the fireworks, but I could hook this scene to a button. So I created this all in Final Cut, and I imposed it onto a scene, which means when I press the button, it pulls it up. Or if I press a button, it's attached to music, just like that. Press a different button, get some other music back. So yeah, you got to program it, create and program, which was in the beginning, you know, a bit daunting. All this tech. It used to be just the podcast, and now I got this sound machine, 2 cameras, lights, mics. I had to learn all of that, and that's for dissonance, enjoying the dissonance. But there we go. Thank you all for being here. We'll close off a stream. It may or may not take you to the 24-hour stream. We shall see. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Just like that. Just like that. Tommy Cooper was my mum's favorite comedian. So I remember watching all that stuff growing up. Like the Two-Faced one, that was funny. It did. It didn't for me. We'll see if it happens again. You're most welcome, Med. Okay, guys. You have a wonderful one. I will speak to you on Monday, and I'll work on Sunday to create what that will be. So I'll speak to you all then. Many thanks, and goodbye.